He was the third string quarterback, and now I think he's the second, but I can't even trust that with Kevin Stefanski, who is obviously no fan of Shedeur's. Kevin is doing everything in his power to keep Shedeur out of the spotlight and off radar, because he knows once Shedeur gets his foot in that door, look out, because there's going to be an avalanche of national publicity and national.
He's not playing winning football, man. It looks scary almost to me. I don't know if Stefanski's scary or is he scary. Like one time I seen Judy pop open maybe for like a bang route.
I think he has a high enough ceiling right now. I don't know if he has a high enough ceiling right now to be a franchise starting quarterback in the NFL that you can build off of.
The debate is heating up this week as Dillon Gabriel faces intense scrutiny after a rough performance against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Fans and analysts are dissecting every play, and one thing is becoming abundantly clear. Dillon Gabriel might not be the answer. The pressure is mounting, and now all eyes are on a potential alternative. Shedeur Sanders Arena is making their stance clear, calling for a change, and the calls for Sanders to step in are growing louder by the day. The question is simple. Is it time for Shedeur Sanders to take the reins? With the spotlight now firmly on him, the pressure is on Sanders to prove he can deliver when it matters most. This could be a make or break moment, not only for the team, but for his future in the league. Will Dillon Gabriel find a way to turn things around? Or is it finally Shedeur Sanders' time to shine?
But as a football player, as a quarterback in this predicament of a situation, I'm rooting against him. And I feel sorry for him because behind him is the most popular backup quarterback in the history of the National Football League.
Biss has been outspoken, insisting that Dillon Gabriel won't receive any support in this situation. He firmly believes Shedeur Sanders is the clear solution. No doubts about it. However, there's a twist. Coach Stefanski doesn't exactly share the same enthusiasm for Shedeur or the growing fan support behind him. Skip contends that Shedeur is undeniably one of the most talented quarterbacks on the Browns roster, and overlooking him could lead to significant issues for the team. Skip Biss didn't hold back in criticizing Stefanski for his refusal to give Shedeur Sanders a shot, even highlighting that the coach doesn't acknowledge Shedeur by name when asked about him. Bayless sees this as a clear sign of disrespect, suggesting it shows just how little Stefanski appreciates Shedeur's talent. Despite the criticism, Shedeur has kept his composure, choosing not to make a scene about the situation. Instead, he's staying focused on what truly matters: his performance on the field.
He should be now. He should be starting now, but here's Stefanski's answer the other day. Why didn't you give Shedeur a shot in the fourth quarter? And he won't even speak Shedeur's name. He never refers to the question about Shedeur with saying Shedeur's name.
On the other hand, Kevin Stefanski has remained firm in his support of Dillon Gabriel, refusing to let any of the criticism land on him. Instead, he's shifting the blame to the rest of the offense, insisting that it's up to the other players to help Gabriel succeed and make plays. Stefanski argues that the struggles against the Steelers weren't Gabriel's fault, but rather a result of the failures from those around him. This defense is particularly hard to understand, especially considering the Steelers' defense ranks 29th in the league, which makes Stefanski's stance seem somewhat unreasonable.
Well, I think certainly, Daryl, we have to find ways to be explosive on offense, and that can come via the run or the pass. And, explosive pass can happen in a variety of different ways, but it really comes down to our ability as an offense to...
Skip Biss quickly fired back at Stefanski's comments about Dillon Gabriel, arguing that the coach was trying to paint Gabriel as a tough player. But Biss wasn't buying into that narrative. He emphasized that Shedeur Sanders isn't just mentally tough, but physically tough as well, something he's proven time and again throughout his college career. Shedeur has faced his fair share of adversity, yet has consistently risen to the occasion. Bayless highlighted how Shedeur handled immense pressure, staying focused and showing resilience, all while having that one key teammate who had enough confidence to throw him the ball and trust him to win the game for the team. Skip Biss didn't hold back, going as far as to suggest that Stefanski might be trying to portray Shedeur Sanders as a spoiled kid. However, Bayless quickly shut that idea down, pointing out that Shedeur has never displayed any sense of entitlement on the field. While it's true that Shedeur comes from a wealthy background, Bayless stressed that he's always carried himself with humility and has a strong foundation. According to Biss, Shedeur's character and work ethic speak volumes, and he's earned his place through his performance, not allowing his background to define him.
People would say, well, he's a spoiled kid. He was raised rich. He was raised rich. But he ain't no spoiled kid.
Right.
He doesn't act like a spoiled kid on the football field.
Right.
He's a tough kid. He looks like he's from the toughest neighborhood you could ever imagine. He just got that in his blood.
Gil also shared his thoughts, heavily criticizing Dillon Gabriel's performance. He highlighted that Gabriel was sacked 6 times in total, with 3 of those sacks occurring because he held onto the ball for too long. Arenas didn't pull any punches, labeling Gabriel as scary in the worst possible way, and boldly stating that he doesn't believe Gabriel will ever be able to lead the Browns to victory. According to Arenas, Gabriel's unpredictable and unreliable play makes it impossible for the team to have confidence in him moving forward. Arenas went on to emphasize that with the trade deadline quickly approaching, it's essential for the Browns to thoroughly assess their roster, particularly the offensive linemen. He argued that the team won't be able to make the right decisions about who should stay unless they give Shedeur Sanders a chance to prove himself.
You're gonna bump that down?
Shit, I might go right now. Like before the trade, we gotta see something. Let's see what Shedeur got with this team before we break it up and trade everybody. The trade deadline is coming soon. You gonna trade some of these guys and it's gonna happen. So you might as well let Shedeur rock while you got this group. You know what I'm saying? Let him rock with this group before you trade some of your linemen or something like that. So I don't know. It's very bad in my opinion.
Pressure is mounting on the Cleveland Browns as they navigate a critical point in their season with Dillon Gabriel's performance under heavy scrutiny after a difficult game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Analysts, fans, and former players alike have voiced their concerns, with many pointing to the potential of Shedeur Sanders as a possible solution to the team's struggles. Skip Biss has been a vocal advocate for Sanders, arguing that the young quarterback's talent, both mentally and physically, far outweighs the current struggles of Gabriel. This points to Shedeur's resilience under pressure, particularly in his college career, as proof of his ability to shine in challenging situations. However, Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski has stood by Gabriel, deflecting criticism and blaming the failures of the surrounding offense rather than his quarterback's performance. Stefanski's unwavering support for Gabriel, despite the mounting evidence of inconsistency, raises questions about his judgment and the team's direction. Some, like Arenas, are suggesting that the Browns risk overlooking Sanders' potential by not giving him a chance to prove himself. With the trade deadline approaching, there's increasing urgency for the Browns to make decisions about their roster, especially on the offensive line and at the quarterback position. As the debate intensifies, the future of both Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders hangs in the balance. Will Stefanski continue to back Gabriel, or will he finally give Sanders a chance to step into the spotlight and show what he can do? The Browns' decision could very well determine the trajectory of their season and potentially shape the future of the franchise. For now, the team is at a crossroads, and the next few weeks will be critical in deciding who will lead them forward. So what do you think? Is it time for the Browns to make a change at quarterback and give Shedeur Sanders the opportunity to prove himself, or should they continue to back Dillon Gabriel and give him the chance to turn things around? Do you agree with Skip Biss and Arenas, who believe Sanders is the answer, or do you think Stefanski's support for Gabriel is justified? With the trade deadline looming and the season hanging in the balance, what's the best move for the Browns right now? We want to hear your thoughts. Drop your comments below and let's discuss.